This is Edward Lowe, Senior Editor at Motortrend, back with part 2 of our exclusive video on the all-new 2008 Nissan GTR. What you're looking at now was some of the very first footage available of the GTR in motion and without the covers it's been wearing throughout its development. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? The first thing you notice is that the GTR doesn't have the eye black anymore. Earlier concept cars had black patches below the headlights, but in the production model these were removed because the design team thought they would, and I quote, compromise the strength and solid feel of the front design. I don't know about that, but I do agree it looks better without them. They weren't functional, and if there's one thing the GTR has always been about, it's function over form. From the back, you can see the trademark circular taillights have also been retained. Except for a few minor details, like the addition of a center support for the rear wing, the production GTR is very similar to the concept cars. It still has scalloped out sections above the quad tailpipes that reduces the visual weight of the rear. On the road or sitting still, the GTR looks pretty spectacular. It's not a large car, but it has significant weight and presence. Of course, all the attention Nissan paid to the details really helps. Nissan engineers clearly spent a lot of time making sure everything was just right, from the beautifully sculptured trim pieces on the aero blade fenders to the 20-inch forged aluminum wheels, aggressive projector headlights, and bullet-shaped, hood-mounted air intakes. And of course there are those legendary stacked GTR logos. But don't take my word for it. For the photo shoot, we brought in world-famous automotive photographer Mark Bramley, and here's what he had to say about the GTR.
What do you think of the car?
I love it. I want one.
Yeah.
60,000 they said.
480 horsepower?
480 horsepower. Just awesome.
What do you think of the looks?
Yeah, I'm divided on the looks actually. It's, I think it'll grow on me, but first sight it's not as pleasing perhaps, but it's so interesting. You just gotta keep looking all over it. There's so many details on it. It's just such an amazing thing. Actually.
Easy to shoot?
I like it. Easy to shoot. Yeah, definitely easy to shoot. If only it went a bit faster for us.
Mark may be a little bit off about the GTR's price tag. Estimates are now closer to $70,000 to $80,000, but he is spot on about the styling. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely an interesting vehicle to look at. And there's plenty more on the inside, including a contoured steering wheel with buttons on the front and paddle shifters on each side, and trick chronograph style gauges. But I'll shut up now so you can hear how it sounds when you give it some revs. If you like that, you're going to love this. The GTR's multifunction display is like nothing in the industry. Sure, it does GPS navigation, but it also shows so much more. Everything from coolant temperatures and cornering Gs to boost pressure and braking force. In all, there are 5 modes and 16 pages of data in a custom configurable system designed with the help of Kazunori Yamauchi, the creator of Polyphony's Gran Turismo video game series. Below this display and ahead of the engine start button is the lever that operates perhaps the most controversial part of the new GTR, its 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. Yes, the GTR comes without a traditional manual, but don't get too upset. I've driven the car, and all I can say is that you won't be disappointed. Here's some more cool features. 3 mode switches, similar to Porsche's stability management system. The one on the right turns the traction control system on and off, the center switch tweaks the suspension, and the left switch adjusts the transmission, including a mode for snow. The GTR is powered by an all-new twin-turbocharged and intercooled 3.8-liter V6 engine. Codenamed the VR38, this engine is similar to the VQ series engines that power the Nissan 350Z and Infiniti G37, only in that it shares the same bore spacing and 60-degree block. Overall, it's an impressive package, good for approximately 480 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. Nissan claimed this engine, paired with their ultra-fast shifting transmission and all-new all-wheel drive system, gives the GTR legitimate supercar speed. How fast? They say it'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, a quarter mile in under 12 seconds, and top out at over 190 miles an hour. But that's not all. They also claim it'll outrun cars like the vaunted 911 Turbo around the circuit as well, and have recorded faster lap times at the Nürburgring as proof. We won't know how true any of that is until we get our hands on the GTR, but I can tell you this, we won't be betting against it. Stay tuned.